to share with you a 3-step process that you can start implementing today to improve the quality of people that you're attracting into your life, so that you can start to be surrounded by more people who unconditionally love you, who admire you for everything that you are and everything that you've grown through, and who treat you with the respect you deserve. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, hi, my name's Lucie, and on this channel we share all kinds of tips about spirituality, personal development, and how to become the best version of you. So, the 3 steps to attracting more love and better relationships into your life. Step 1 is you've got to stop putting yourself down. Okay? I understand that sometimes when when other people have been putting you down a lot in your life, for some reason we kind of copy that, or we pick up on that, or we believe it, and we think, well, if everyone else is treating me like shit, maybe it's because I am this load of rubbish. But let me remind you that when you were born, you were perfect. When all babies are born, are they not perfect? When you look at them, you don't think, oh, that's a rubbish baby compared to this one. This baby's so much better than that one. No. Everyone adores all babies. At least they should, right? Any beliefs that you have that say that you're not good enough always has more to do with them than it has to do with you. So if you continue to put yourself down because of what those other people have imprinted on you, have taught you, then all you're doing is adding more power to them and perpetuating more of their words and their thoughts and their negative energy than, taking back your own power and deciding how you want to feel about yourself. This is a beautiful transitory phase that you might be going through, where maybe for the first time in your life, instead of just adopting the opinions of those negative people around you, you get to decide, fresh start, how do I want to start feeling about myself? How do I want to show up in the world? How do they talk to themselves? How do they behave each day? Every day that you put yourself down, you're basically dragging yourself back down to that low point that I know you don't want to be at anymore. Step 2 of this process, obviously if you're looking to attract more positive people, there is no longer a place for negative people in your life. There's no longer a place for toxic people in your life. Okay? Cut toxic people out of your life. Spend as little time with them as possible. You don't have to be mean to them. You don't have to tell them that they're toxic to their face. Maybe you're just unavailable, less available than you were before, to pander to their every need and then to be abused by them or drained by them. Set your boundaries and know what your boundaries are yourself, so that then the next time you have an opportunity to see this toxic person, you are either prepared, or you minimize the time that you spend with them, or you minimize, how energetically involved you're going to get. If these toxic people happen to be members of your family and you feel responsibility and you feel a necessity to, continue being with them, like, even if that toxic person is your father or your mother, I know it's harder when it's people that you're related to decide to cut them out. And I'm not suggesting that you have to if you don't feel like you want to. But still you can set those boundaries for yourself. If you feel obligated or guilted into spending time with negative relatives who make you feel shitty, how is that in your best interest at all? How is that benefiting you at all? How is that filling up your own cup? How is that helping you? How is that setting an example of how you want to be treated by other people? Okay? It's not. Sometimes you have to see those relatives. And that's okay. But maybe work towards doing so more on your own terms. Maybe work towards, finding a way to have some more of your own time and your own space. And you know, if you stop talking the same language as them, as in if you stop putting yourself down, try it out. Like, bullies only press buttons so long as they work. As soon as they press the same button that they've always been pressing and they don't get the same emotional response that you've been giving them, eventually, actually very quickly, that bully will stop pressing that button because they no longer get the reaction that they press it for. And they'll go and find some other victim to press their buttons. And the third and final step to being able to attract more positive people into your life is start treating yourself the way that you want other people to treat you. Remember that with the law of attraction, you don't just attract you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. You attract who you are. So if you treat yourself with respect and kindness and patience, and you give less of a crap about not being perfect, then other people will start to also treat you in that same way, because life is like a magnet. I was watching a video by, is her name Brendy Lee? I'll tag her video below. I love how she empowers people, and she was saying, you know, that if you have a car and your car is full of rubbish, like on the floor there's just old takeaway boxes, old smelly food wrappers, old used tissues, like it's totally gross, and someone opens the door of your car and they go and sit in the passenger seat, how do you think they're going to treat that car? If they see that you treat it that badly, then they're probably going to think, oh, okay, I can eat my McDonald's in here. Oh, it doesn't really matter if I get crumbs on the seat, because you have set you've established that sort of level of treatment, you know? You've established that that's the way that you treat your car, so it gives other people permission to sit in your car and treat it the same way. On the flip side, if your car is absolutely immaculate, there's not a crumb anywhere, it smells fresh, there's no rubbish on the floor whatsoever, it is absolutely pristine. Doesn't even matter whether it's an expensive car or a relatively cheap car. If you treat it with total respect and it is immaculate, when somebody goes into your car, what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to eat their smelly food in your car? No, they can already tell, or they're not going to want to dirty your car because it will show up as very different behavior that clearly you don't tolerate. And in the same vein, you'd probably say to that person, no food in the car. And when you have those kinds of ground rules about how you want your car to be treated, well, for them it makes their life easier because they know, okay, this is how I act around here, this is how I behave. But also for you, it makes your life 10 times easier because you're not having to then, you know, wonder why people are treating your car like crap. You know, you've set the ground rules, and it all starts with how you're treating your car first. So I love that analogy because I'm sure you guys can see how it applies exactly to how you treat yourself. Okay, take yourself out on a date, buy yourself a nice present, give yourself a hug, write yourself a romantic letter. Seriously, it might feel really silly at first, but maybe that's just because you're super unused to it. I treat myself and love myself and pamper myself all the time now. Something that you certainly can control is your relationship with you. So when you have those beautiful romantic conversations and time with yourself, then you're healing your own wounds. You're filling yourself up with so much love, and you'll be amazed at the different level of people that will walk into your life when you make that profound decision on a cellular and energetic level of the fact that you're now somebody that gets treated with so much love and respect. Okay? All of this stuff about how to attract external people and external things into your life. Remember, guys, that the law of attraction is always a reflection of what's going on in here. Okay? So if there is a lack of love around you, there's a lack of love within you as well. And sometimes I know it feels a bit like chicken and egg, because it's like, oh, when I was a kid, there was no love, and that's why I don't feel love. Okay, whatever journey or story it was that got you to where you are now, that's valid. But in terms of you taking back control, you getting behind the wheel of your own life and deciding to steer your life in the direction that you want it to, it starts with flipping things over the other way and starting within as you want to receive externally. When I dedicated 3 months to living completely on my own in a foreign country where I didn't know anyone, with a lot of additional time to pour into my own cup, and I was so enjoying of that season of my life that I wasn't even looking for love. I wasn't even looking to attract, new people into my life, because I was so into all of this time that I had on my own. That is when my fiance, my soulmate, walked into my life. And we haven't looked back since, and we just keep growing and flourishing and more in love and more loving to each other than ever before. And I can only tell you what I've experienced from my own life experience. These 3 steps that I've shared with you, I've been through those 3 steps. I used to put myself down, compare myself to other girls, criticize myself constantly. There's still some criticisms in my mind, there's still some comparison in my mind, but in comparison to where I was at before, I was in such a better place. I have lost a lot of friends, and that sounds like a tragic statement, but actually it's not. I no longer spend much of my time with people who tease me, bully me, put me down, or drain me. Like every now and then I might see some people like that, but I don't make time for that anymore. And instead, I have been focused on attracting more good and lovely people into my life. But you can't force friendships to happen. But I think that because I'd done that inner work on myself, and I've been, working on treating myself how I'd want others to treat me, then, next week you go to this event and you meet some really, really, really lovely people, or your friend introduces you to their friend's new girlfriend and you're like, wow, you're my kind of person, and those sorts of people just start cropping up and appearing more and more and more into your life. And then before you know it, in a year's time, in 2 years' time, in 3 years' time, you're like, whoa, my circle is amazing, So in that process, there's going to be a lot of letting go. There's going to be a lot of maybe, people leaving you and people walking out of your life as you are on your spiritual journey. As you are leveling up, sometimes you will need to actively cut ties and actively make the decision to set your boundaries and not be with those negative people. But also, you might find, because these people are no longer a vibrational match to you, they'll just walk out of your life, or they'll just block you. Don't take it personally. Say thanks. Thanks to the universe for, saving you a job. They walked out of your life before you even had to realize that they were a toxic person that was no longer serving you. If you still have your doubts about whether this stuff can apply to you, of course it frickin' well can. Okay? I'm talking to you in particular. Yes, you who is maybe feeling so super low about yourself right now. You hasn't said a nice thing to yourself in a long time. You who's just constantly feeling crappy and feel like you deserve to. Let me tell you, you don't deserve to feel like that anymore. Even if the role of victim sounds or feels comforting because it's something that you're used to, you can't ask for more good things and more love from a place of victim mode. I'm not saying, sometimes terrible things happen to people who don't deserve it. I'm not saying it's all everyone's fault. But if you want to start to look towards more positive life experiences and you want to start attracting more positivity into your life, then at all costs avoid being a victim. Take control of your own life and do the work, do whatever it takes to get you out of that situation. Everyone's obstacles and hurdles look different. So stay in your own lane. Don't compare to somebody else and go, oh, they didn't have to go through that, and look at them. You don't know what their hurdles are. Maybe their hurdles haven't arrived yet. But everyone has their different hurdles, and those hurdles are there to help you to get the lessons that you wanted to get in this lifetime. When you were born, there's a set of skills and new depth to your soul that you wanted to acquire by going through what you are going through in this life experience. So keep growing forward, keep growing through it. You were meant to hear this message. If it resonated with you, this is all part of the unfolding of your journey. I'm sending you a big hug. This stuff ain't easy. Sorry that I didn't give you guys a video about like, yeah, just picture a text from someone that you love. You know, because I actually want to help you guys on a deep soul level. Love you guys so much. You're going to get through this. You're going to come out the other side feeling phenomenal, feeling like an absolute king, feeling like an absolute queen. And in a year from now, drop me a comment on this video. Come and find this video again and message me how your life has changed and how your social circle and inner circle and closest relationships have changed for the better. Give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. Remember to hit my subscribe button and ring my bell so that you never miss one of my future videos. Until next time, bye.